Honestly, I'm tired of repeating the same cycles. I wanna let it go. So here I go, like drop. Starting a new path for my fam. Finding who I am. Speaking life, loving me, even when I fall. Cause life be life in us all. Life be life in us all. Cause life be life in us all. Life be life in us all.
Hey y'all, hey, it's me, Portia O, your host of Life Be Lifin podcast. Thank you so much for joining again for another installation of the podcast. All right, this is season 3. Okay, we are here with another episode, giving you all the things that I've been thinking, trying to figuring out, applying, and pretty much just all the things. I don't know. But as always, I am giddy and excited to be here with you all. Okay, let's get into it. Today's episode, we are talking about something that really is me, or shall I say, used to be me. Okay, because I am a reformed people pleaser. Now, I do have moments that I default to my people-pleasing ways. But ultimately, I am working and striving every day to not be this people-pleasing Portia, okay? I titled this episode, Pleasing People More Than Me, okay? Because that's essentially what you're doing. You're pleasing people and you're working so hard to please others more than you please yourself. And in what world is that okay? Man, especially when you are unhappy, when you are not seeing yourself for what you are and all of those things, what is the point? Because you're seeking outside validation. You're seeking for people to tell you, hey, you're great. You're amazing. Let me pat you on the back. And when you don't get that response, it feeds your low self-esteem, your low self-worth, all of those things right again. And it's a vicious cycle, especially when you're surrounded by people that will never see you for what you want them to see you for, right? So we're going to break that. We're not doing that anymore because a lot of us don't even realize that we people please. But it's levels to this, okay? So we're going to deep dive into what people pleasing looks like, what it is, where it is birthed from, where it comes from, whatever. And how we can get out of it. Because, I'm never coming here with an issue without a resolution, period. That's what we are here for. So if this is your first time here, welcome. On this podcast, we talk about how life be over here, life and via all types of situations, relationships, and everyday things that we are experiencing, all while in real time healing and learning to be a better human being. So if that's what you are about, you are in the right place at the right time, okay? Get into it. Let me show you guys what I have as far as merch for Life Be Lifin.
Life be life in us all. Life be life in us all. Cause life be life in us all. Life be life in us all.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope that you find something on there that you will like and or that you will want to participate in. If it speaks to you, please go to the website, buy it, book it, whatever it is. All right. Thank y'all so much. All right. Next segment is hashtag Life Be Life in Us All. Life be life in us all. Life be life in us all. I wish I had like a Toni Braxton voice. Like, it's so smooth and sultry. Like, I can't get down that low. But if I could, I would. Okay. Anywho, hey, hashtag The Village. This is where I ask you guys to send me in any requests that you would like for me to talk about, any topics, any subjects, any piece of news, whatever it is that you may be dealing with personally, or someone dealing with it and you want to try to talk it through or get some advice. Send it in to me. You can DM me, you can email me, you can reach me at any of my socials, whatever it is, and we can talk about it on this podcast. All right. So I would really appreciate you, Village, for sending that in to me and yeah, wanting to hear me talk more about something that is meaningful or just as meaningful to you as it is to me. Okay. Now that we got all of that stuff out the way, let's go to the segment. I got some questions, y'all, because you know I am inquisitive and I'm always going to ask the questions. All right. So, some of the questions that we're going to answer throughout this podcast today are one of the questions: who benefits from my help? As a people pleaser, who benefits from your help? Really ask yourself that. Like, because we really be thinking we over here helping this person and that person, and I'm helping this, and they probably not even receiving it as help. Who are you helping? Because who you think you're helping, you may not really be helping, and your intention is for them to receive it as help, and they are perceiving it as nagging. They are perceiving it as, oh my gosh, here they go again. They always in my business, or they perceiving it as, I don't care, that's what you're supposed to do, like an entitlement. And that ain't cool. No one wants to feel like their help or the way that they're trying to please someone is being received as, you supposed to do that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, a parent would get mad with a kid, uh, especially in my experience with Black parents, who will get mad with their kids if they have any sense of entitlement, like, I'm supposed to do something for you. I ain't supposed to do nothing but be Black and die. You know how the old folks used to say that? Like, that be the energy. Like, I ain't got to do nothing for you, okay? But you better be grateful that I chose to take care of you or show up for you or clothe you or feed you and all this type of stuff. Now, I'm not saying that mentality is correct, but I'm just saying, like, it's the audacity of people having this sense of entitlement of you showing up for them. You know what I'm saying? And so no one wants to feel that way, right? So I dare you to question yourself, who benefits from your help? Who benefits from it? The next question is, what will happen if you don't make others feel good? What will really happen if you didn't make others feel good? Because why is that your responsibility? It is not. I'm going to answer that right now. It is not your responsibility to make others feel good. Others should feel good already on their own. It is not required of Portia to make you feel good. Okay? And I'm not saying that you're not accountable for how, again, somebody is perceiving you or receiving you. You can be held accountable to an extent for those things. But the overall arching theme of somebody's life is not your responsibility to make them feel good. So we need to check that. Like, why do I feel like I have to make you feel good in order for you to be good? That is problematic. Okay? So we're going to get further into that. Next question is, why do I feel the need to please others? Why do I feel the need to please others? Like, what in me is calling out to people, like, is starving or craving for me to please you? I want you to see me. I want you to validate me. I want you to, accept me. Is it acceptance? What's happening there that you feel like I have to please you in order, or I need to please you in order for you to what? Like, what are you looking for on the other end of that? Again, I said, like, the pat on the back, but a pat on the back, like, what are you, a dog? Like, you need a pat every time? Every time? Like, what is that in you that is crying out for people to, receive that? I don't know. It's very interesting, and I struggle with that. Like, people needing me, and I know it's a root to this, right? And it's something that I've built up since I was a kid to this point. Like, it's something about feeling needed, feeling accepted, feeling wanted, feeling necessary. Ooh. And we are already necessary without anybody needing us necessarily. Like, it's not, that doesn't have to go hand in hand that because I helped somebody, now I am worth, or now I am a necessity. No, you were a necessity from the beginning. God created you as a necessity. You are a necessity for your parents. You are a necessity for your bloodline. You are a necessity for this world. Period. Okay? And the last question I have is, how does it make you feel overall? How does people pleasing make you feel overall? Do you feel good and satisfied? Are you like overjoyed? Is it like scratching an itch that been itching for forever and you finally got it and you got some relief? Like, oh, are you getting positive endorphins? What are you getting from it? How does it make you feel? Or are you exhausted and depleted and just like, it's never enough? I got to keep going and going and going and going. Like, what is your takeaway? How do you really feel? And not just those surface emotions. We talked about that in season 2, right? With the emotion wheel. Not just those surface emotions. Oh, I'm happy. Because happiness is a temporary emotion. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, I'm like, how does it really make you feel? Do you feel rejected? Do you feel unappreciated? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel pushed to the side? Do you feel, what do you feel? What are you gaining from people pleasing? Especially when you have not pleased you. When you walk away not feeling good about all of the things or the thing that you have done, what are you receiving? How do you feel? So hopefully we will answer these questions throughout this podcast episode, all right? This is the next segment, Did You Know? If you didn't know, you already know. Your girl is here to tell you, all right? A people pleaser is not a medical term, and there is also no clinical definition for this term, okay? It's more so a label, all right? But according to medicalnewstoday.com, it is defined as a person who is consistently striving to please others, often sacrificing their own wants or needs in the process, which can also be viewed as a person who adapts their behavior to make interactions much more smoother from their point of view. Ciao. If that's anybody else, just say ouch. Because I am a textbook labeled people pleaser. And that really be like your mindset, like this is going to make everything smoother for everybody else in this situation. But you sacrifice your needs, your wants, your desires in those moments. Like, what are we doing? Where did we learn that from? Why is that been okay? Why do we operate that way? It's so interesting to me. So we're going to flow on into, this is just my life experience. This is what I have experienced in my people-pleasing era, okay? As a reformed people pleaser, okay, we speaking those things as though they were, all right? Power, life, and death in the tongue, period. Oh, I wrote that in my notes and I didn't even see that I wrote that in my notes. But, anyway. I've recently been able to identify similarities with others that I'm in relationship with, people I've been around in general, okay? And what I have surmised is, even if you don't think that you are a people pleaser, if you do any of these things that I'm about to say and list out on a regular basis, then you may be, or you may need to self-evaluate yourself, okay? Or reconsider how you have labeled yourself or what you would label yourself, okay? The desire can manifest in many ways, such as the desire to be a people pleaser, okay? You find it hard to say no to requests. You regularly take on extra work, even if they do not have the time, if you don't have the time to do it. You often overcommit to plans, responsibilities, and or projects. You avoid advocating for your own needs, such as by saying that you are fine when you are not. Ooh, that is a girl. Listen, I've probably done all of these things on this list. Okay, let me finish it. You avoid disagreeing with people or voicing your honest opinion. You go along with things that you are not happy about to avoid creating friction. I'm just gonna say, ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, because all of that has been me in one scenario or another, because I have been a people pleaser all of my life. A person with these tendencies, okay, may also feel pressure to be friendly, nice, and cheerful at all times. Hi, my name is what? My name is who? My name is Portia O, okay? Because that has been me. If you're like this, then people are gonna like receive you, right? Everybody will be happy. But I'm not. But that is like my disposition most times. In general, I feel like that's my baseline disposition. But also, what is the root of that? Is it just because I'm a nice person, or I feel like if I present this way, if I do this, then people will receive me better. They will be able to stand me better. And that is me pleasing people I don't even know. Why does it you don't even know these folks? Are they even worth receiving such a gift such as you? That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, also, some more tendencies would be anxious about creating unease or standing up for themselves. They're stressed due to the commitments they have taken on. They're frustrated that they never seem to have time for themselves. My God, on today, that has been abundantly clear to me. Like, and sometimes I get frustrated with my kids, and I know that's not right because it's misplaced frustration. But I get frustrated with them, like, y'all don't even know, like, all the sacrifices, all the things that I'm doing. And I don't never have time, or I felt like I never have time for myself because I'm too busy trying to please y'all. I'm trying to please other people. I'm trying to, like, who's trying to please Portia? Who's taking care of Portia? But like I said, that's misplaced frustration because that has nothing to do with them, especially my children. Like, it really has nothing to do with them. They didn't ask to be here. I decided to, invite them into this world. And I decided to take on the responsibility to take care of them and provide for them and show up for them and all the things, right? But I do think, just a quick aside, that there is somewhat of an unhealthy level of people pleasing when it comes to our children, because we be so hyper focused on not showing up as our parents have shown up for us if we've had bad experiences with our parents, or we desire our parents to show up a specific way for us, right? And they didn't. So it's like, well, I'm not going to do that to my kids. Whatever they want to do, I'm going to show up for them in that way. Whatever, like, I don't ever want them to feel like, oh my gosh, mom couldn't do this, mom couldn't do that, mom, whatever. But that's a form of people pleasing. Why are you trying to please these little humans that are just learning the world through your eyes? through your experiences, through your actions, through your wisdom, through how you show up. They don't know no better. I mean, don't get me wrong, kids come here equipped with innocence and truth telling of their experience until we teach it and beat it out of them, essentially, to not show up authentically, to put on these masks and all this type of bull crap. But aside from that, why are you trying so hard to prove to your kid that because I get you all the new Jordans and all the stuff, like I'm a good mom or I'm a good dad? Is that the proof? Is that what we hanging our parental role on? Like their experience with that? Like, is that what we're gonna do? I gotta please you. She want all of this. He want all of that. I gotta show up this way because that's what they want. But you ain't giving them no principles and teachings or anything behind that. And then you get frustrated when they're unappreciative, when they're ungrateful, when they're like, but you're creating these monsters because you have misguided reasoning behind why you are pleasing them. You can please your children, but in a healthy way. It shouldn't be done in an unhealthy way. And I know that some of us have experienced our parents doing it in an unhealthy way. But again, this is your life. And just as we get to choose to do everything because God gives us free will, you need to choose to show up differently. You don't have to just do what you were taught. You don't have to just do what the learned behavior was. Okay? It's up to you. It's up to you. It's your responsibility now. We're not children anymore. And if you are a kid or if you are a younger adult, like it's still up to you. It's your decision which way you gonna go with this. Okay? They also may feel that their own wants and needs do not matter in comparison to others. Okay? That's where that feeling unappreciated portion comes from. Because you like, well, I care about your feelings and I showed up for you. And by pleasing you, and you don't seem to care to reciprocate. You don't seem to care to reciprocate that to me. So I feel unappreciated. I feel that you don't think that I'm at the level that you are, the deserving level for somebody to show up for them, right? These people also think that people take advantage of them. I mean, that kind of go hand in hand, right? Like if I feel unappreciated, I feel like, well, you just taking advantage of me at some point. But at the same time, I'm going to keep pleasing you because I don't know what else to do. That's how I've always done it. And even though I may not be yielding the result that I desire, what else am I gonna do? I'm a people pleaser. You're asking a zebra to change their stripes, and I don't have the tools to do it. So some causes of this people pleasing behavior are low self-esteem. That's like people who feel that they are not worth or they're worth less than other people, right? And they may feel that their needs are unimportant. Like, you know what? Because after you like dwell in this space for so long, like that's your takeaway. Because people are not, 9 times out of 10 are not going to reciprocate. Because they haven't went through their own journey to recognize that this person is pleasing me and making an effort to please me all the time. They're not seeing it that way. They're not receiving it that way most times. Or they just don't care. So you have an expectation out of someone that don't even see it the same way that you see it. So they're never going to give you what you're looking for. So then here you go with a cause of your own behavior, your people-pleasing behavior, is you having low self-esteem and you feeling unimportant. And then you try to advocate for yourself and then you stop. And you do less and less advocating and more people pleasing, and you still feel the same way you've been feeling. They may also feel that they have no purpose if they cannot help others. So you didn't push your self-esteem so down that you now feel that you are purposeless. And that's no further than the truth in Jesus' name. God created each and every single one of us with a purpose on this earth. Your purpose may not look like what my purpose looks like, or his purpose looks like, or her purpose looks like. It's your own individual thing. And don't allow this cruel, cruel world to make you feel less than because you chose to show up or not chose to show up. You might have been groomed that way. That might have been instilled in you to be a people pleaser. But that's the point of us having these conversations so that we can learn the error in our ways and we can recognize, why have I felt like this for 30 plus years? Why is my self-esteem so low? I told y'all in previous episodes, like, people tell me all the time and have told me all my life that I'm a pretty girl, I'm a pretty girl, I'm a pretty girl. And I still had low self-esteem. Why? Because self-esteem does have to do with physicality, but also on a deeper level, it is an attitude. It is the way that you think of yourself, not just how you physically look, but about your intellect, about your being, about who you are. So low self-esteem, and people always say, oh, you're too pretty to have low self-esteem. Pretty has nothing to do with it. If I don't have the mind to see that I am worthy, that I am purposed, that I am important, and what I think and feel matters, then I will not have it. And the more and more the world dumps on me, and the more and more I please, and the more and more I don't receive the reciprocation in return, the more and more I am going to believe those negative things about myself. And I'm not going to be able to show up in that space. And I'm going to just keep being a broken record, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And it's not going to happen until I choose to see myself better, till I choose to recognize that I have a problem. And the problem is I am a people pleaser. Why am I so hyper focused on your needs, your importance, your ego, your whatever, and I push mine to the side? Why do I deem you to be so worthy and I'm not? Are we not both human? Do we not both bleed? Do we not both feel? Are we not both experiencing life? Another cause of this people-pleasing behavior is anxiety. Y'all already know I was diagnosed with anxiety as well, child. Everything that's probably on this list, child, I probably didn't get and have, whatever. Probably have shown up as, I don't know. But is the root by people-pleasing behavior? Is that the root cause of all of this strife, of all of these things? It's building blocks. That's the theme for this season 3. It's building blocks. Everything has a purpose, whether it be done in darkness or light. All these negative things are purpose to make you feel worthless, to have you stuck in this space. The anxiety that a person gets from this behavior. Some people may attempt to please others because they feel anxious about fitting in, about rejection, or causing offense. I don't want to offend nobody. I just want everybody to get along. But that's not the reality, especially in America. Jesus. But that's what people pleasers do. And now you ain't got anxiety up the hoo-ha because you so focused on fitting in and not feeling like the awkward wallflower, or the one that doesn't fit in. Like, what? Well, who cares? Or you have a sense of rejection because you're trying to please people And now your anxiety is up through the roof when you haven't done it, and now you feel rejected. And are you truly rejected? Or are you just not being appreciated for who you are? Because you are different. It's nothing wrong with being different than the common folk. It's nothing wrong. God said he created us in his likeness and in his image. We are a peculiar people. Peculiar does not mean common, does not mean like everybody else. These are set aside people. We are different. And that's okay because there's space for all of us. And for those that try to snuff out that light and that space for all of us, they are the problems, not you because you're different. Okay? God loved you. He created you to be different. You were not meant to be the same. For example, a person with social anxiety may feel they must do whatever their friends want in order for people to like them. It can be a subtle attempt to control others' perceptions. Y'all already know how I feel about that control thing, child. And your girl has had it bad, all right? But it is, and it's a common saying, to control the controllables. You cannot control the uncontrollables. Others people's perceptions are the uncontrollables. That is out of your control. This is why I'm watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake from the beginning. And they're really heavily like Mormon, like that's where the Mormon people dwell apparently. And they really heavily talk about how Mormons are like hyper focused on perfectionism. Like they gotta have this perfect looking family, perfect looking life prior to having a family. Like when you're a young adult, when you're a kid, you have to live this perfect life, right? And you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't do nothing apparently. But also, they all doing all the things because it's unrealistic. And I'm not just saying like indulging in things such as alcohol and stuff like that. Like just it's just unrealistic to for people to seek perfectionism. It's not a thing. You are human. You're going to mess up. You're going to make bad decisions. You are going to make someone upset. You're going to whatever. Like things happen. Life be life in. And we're all experiencing life. No one is going to do it perfectly. No one has done it perfectly except for Jesus because he was all knowing. He came from heaven to earth. He experienced the things. And even in the midst of his perfection, he still felt bad. He still felt sad. He still felt anxious. He still felt, you know what I'm saying? He experienced our emotions. So why do we be so hard on ourselves and other people to be like, oh no, you need to see me in this light, like I am perfect, when that is no further than the truth because you have negative thoughts about yourself and other people. You talk bad about yourself and other people. You show up like, just because I got this cookie cutter, picture perfect looking family doesn't mean that it's perfect. Who cares about people's perceptions? Why is that so serious? And you're unhappy. You are miserable. What are we doing? You cannot control other people's perception. Whatever their takeaway of you is going to be their takeaway. I don't even care if you show up as really polished, like a good person, a good heart, and you very may well be, right? You can be all of those things. Everyone loves you. Everyone gravitates towards your energy. Guess what? It's always going to be someone that be like, she thinks she better than. Who he think he is? What the? It's always going to be someone to oppose what you are presenting. That's their perception. That's their takeaway. That's how they received you. And guess what? You ain't even do nothing. You just showed up as you. And that's not good enough for them. And guess what? I don't give a hell. Why do I care? Why are we caring? Oh, I need you to like me. I need you to see me. I need you not to reject me. I'm a good person. I have a good heart. I'm a great friend. I'm a great wife. I'm a great sister. I'm a great coworker. Who wouldn't want to work with me? Plenty of people. Because they just don't like that your light shines. And guess what? That is out of my control. And it is not my job to make you like me and make sure that you receive me and perceive me in a good light. Clink. Okay? I am so over that. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Just to be clear. I don't care. And I say that with all sincerity. I'm not saying that just to be saying, like, I don't have room to care. I don't. I got enough to carry and enough to figure out and sift through than worrying about why Mandela don't like me. I don't know. Why is she perceiving me to be? I don't know. I can't. I have no room for that. When I have all of this joy, all of these good people over here that are loving on me, caring about me, showing up for me, like why? Why? But this is a cause of your people pleasing behavior. All right? The next one is conflict avoidance. Okay? I am guilty of this. All right? People who are afraid of conflict or feel they must avoid it may use people pleasing as a way to prevent disagreements. For sure, been there, done that multiple times. Okay? First of all, I don't consider myself a confrontational person. And also, when I have conversations with people and it is a disagreement or something I don't agree with necessarily, what I have learned is that I don't have to be aggressive. I don't have to be, rah rah about it. I can speak how I feel very eloquently, right? And if it does ruffle somebody's feathers or make them feel bad or make them feel defensive or offended or whatever, again, that's out of my control because I know that wasn't my intention. And I know that I'm not trying to start a tiff here. I'm just having conversation. I'm just simply trying to communicate. And because you are too fragile and because you are unable to see past yourself and your thoughts and your opinions, you haven't even created a space to receive anyone else in. And so what I have learned is when I hear people talk and I see how they behave, it's not being conflict avoidant any longer. It's more so like, you know what? They're not even worth it. They're not going to receive what you got to say. They're not going to hear what you got to say. They ain't even in that space. So why waste your time? Why waste your breath? Unless God unctions me to be like, hey, you need to say this right now. And I'll be like, I don't want to. But I know if God tells me to, I'm protected. But for sure, I could see this being a cause of your people pleasing behavior. Like, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to. And to an extent, I still show up this way with my family because I don't want to cause any friction. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I feel like me being opinionated and speaking up the way that I do already is a lot for them. You know what I'm saying? And so I just kind of like steer away from certain scenarios and stuff, but I still speak my opinion, but also I'll just sit there and be quiet because I don't want to. And that is an area I guess I'm still working with and struggling with, because I am a people pleaser. So I'm like, well, I just want everybody to be okay. So let me just not. But also, are you okay, Portia? Are you okay? Cause you worried about if they okay, but they don't care about if you okay, cause they showing up the way that they showing up, and they think it's okay, but it's not okay. It's not okay. Okay. So yeah. Another cause of this people pleasing behavior is culture and socialization. The culture of a person's family, community, or country may influence how they view their duty towards others and themselves. Some may learn that total selflessness is a virtue, or that the needs of the collective matter more than an individual. And we already know that that's, baby, we not doing that. That's not, that's not okay. We are currently in a society, the election, a huge election is coming up, and I am really, Lord Jesus, praying for a positive outcome, and not a world ending one, okay? As we know it. And so people will, with this election as an example, will vote for their individual needs opposed to the collective needs, right? And like this said, some may learn to that total selflessness is a virtue, or that their needs of the collective matter more than their individuals, right? And I think that with something like this election, even though it's a collective thing, you're when it's servicing you and the collective, that is the best result. Now, for instance, with people that got money, right? They like, oh, I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to pay all that money in taxes. But you got the money to pay it. Why not sacrifice? I mean, if you got the means, why not give and pay so that the collective could be good? In those instances, I think that that's a good thing, right? And I don't think that's people pleasing. I think that's selflessness, like you said, right? But when you, on the other hand, are like, oh no, I'm going to abandon myself completely and do what these people may want in my city, my county, my neighborhood, my culture. Like, black people typically vote Democrat, and that's that. Like, it ain't no other room. And then the church people typically vote Republican, because they be like, we not finna harm these babies. So I can't vote for nobody that's for abortion. So y'all got to vote for the people that ain't gonna kill the babies. Like, but y'all the ones over here making the babies and having them and have raising them in your churches and all the time. Listen, baby, or making the girls go get the abortions and paying for them. Let's be clear. Everything is not what it may seem. But I'm getting off track. The point is that is also another cause. Basically, your culture and your socialization aspects can feed into causes of your people pleasing behavior, right? Because I don't want to disappoint my family. We've always voted democratically, and even though I don't care for this candidate, I'm going to still vote that way because that's what I'm supposed to do. Vice versa, right? But yeah, who and in that instance, who would know that you voted for them? Who would know? Who would know? But we be so, caught up in this people pleasing stuff that's what we do, right? Anywho, let me get off that election stuff. Another cause of this people pleasing behavior is personality disorders. All right? Personality disorders are long-term mental health conditions, some of which may lead to a people pleasing. For example, dependent personality disorder, DPD, causes a person to feel very dependent on others for help and approval in many facets of life. I don't think I have that one. Okay, I found one on the list that I don't have. I don't think I have dependent personality disorder. I think to an extent, I could have deeply fell into that dependency based off of me needing other people in order to move forward in things, right? Like I feel like, oh, I got to have this group of people with me or a person with me in order for me to feel comfortable in this thing. But I've moved away from that and continuously moving away from that, right? But I don't think it has grew to this disorder essentially that I'm highly dependent upon people because I've told y'all before, like I don't even like to ask for help most times because I feel like I'm a burden and all this type of stuff. So I think I kind of got like the opposite effect of this. Um Cause I'm just like, I don't want nobody to think I'm taking advantage. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm dependent on them. Like I have the type of mentality that don't nobody owe you nothing. Anything that anybody does for you is a blessing. Okay. And I kind of said that in this season opener episode, like I already like I'm making a list of all the people that have blessed me in my down season or my struggle season because I know when God blesses me with my exceedingly abundantly above all I can ever ask and think that I'm going to pay them back tenfold. Like I know God is going to replenish those resources with way more than they ever imagined. So, I can't personally attest to this one, but also just because I can't don't mean that it may not reach for you, right? So if you are a person that has a dependent personality disorder and that causes you to feel very dependent upon others for help and approval in many facets of your life, then that may be something. Now, like I say, I think it's levels to this one for me. That in the way that, oh, if I do this, then, they gonna like this type thing, like with my family and friends or whatever. So yeah, that may be a thing for some people, and I think it is to an extent for me, but not at a high level. Okay. And the next one is trauma, of course, right? Emerging research suggests that fighting, fleeing, or freezing are not the only responses to traumatic events, such as abuse. Some people may also fawn, okay? FAWN, which is an extreme form of people pleasing. Woo! It involves trying to gain the affection and admiration of those they fear as a means of survival. Oh my God. Yeah, no. No, 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 no. I don't like you. That one. That not. I haven't firsthand been abused, right? Um, I don't think mentally, physically, emotionally necessarily fully or I don't think I've categorized myself as being abused. I think I've experienced some verbal abuse or emotional abuse here or there, but not like as far as like a long-term impactful thing. I think it's just a trauma response that I have endured throughout some relationships I've engaged in, right? Um, but this is so real because we see this in a lot of trauma victims. And people that we just don't understand like why you keep going back to this situation because but it is like they're fawning. They are trying to gain the affection and admiration of those they fear as a mean of survival. Like I don't think I've ever been in that place that I have feared as a means of survival. Now I have feared my mother as a child, but I guess I never ever thought of it like I was doing it as a means of survival. But I guess to an extent it was. Little kid Portia was. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I never thought about it. Okay. But this is some a cause of people pleasing behavior. I haven't had, again, personally, this one, the fawning aspect doesn't personally speak to me, but a trauma response in general, for sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. Okay. Um, so yeah, let's move along to the risk of this behavior. So we've gotten, first and foremost, what people pleasing is, right? The causes of your people pleasing behavior. And now we're going to move into the risk of your people pleasing behavior. All right? So, some of the risks are stress, tiredness, neglect, resentment, and relationship problems. And you wonder why. I just can't never be fulfilled. I just can't never be happy. Nothing ever work out for me with these people. Everybody I engage in relationship with, it just never works. I don't get along with the women. I don't get a men. I don't get along with men. I don't find happiness with my family. I'm always tired. I feel like no one cares for me. No one shows up for me. No one looks out for me. Like, I'm always stressed out. I'm always thinking about how to help other people and whatever. Like, it's always something. Always, always, always. Like, I use always with all of those things because that's how it feels. And that's a risk of you being high anxiety, you having high trauma, you like all of that you're experiencing. This is the risk. You're carrying this stress. You're always fatigued because your body is tired of carrying all of this from the causes of your people pleasing behavior. You resent people. You start being like, I don't mess with my pops like that. Because for why? He made me do this and this and that. And da 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 da. And you were people pleasing. And I know, especially when we're kids, we don't know no better. We don't know no better. But when you learn better, or when you feel it ain't something ain't right within you, it is your responsibility to go find answers via help from a therapist, a psychologist, a doctor, a friend, a church member, somebody somewhere, a book. The internet is at our fingertips. It is your responsibility to figure out, why do I feel like this? Life can't be just this. And it don't have to be. You're right. And because you even had that thought, that was God letting you know, yeah, there is more to life. But it is your responsibility to show up for you. For you to go find those answers that you are seeking. Because, man, I cannot just keep living my life like this. Relationship after relationship not working. Like, I'm just not happy with nobody. I don't even talk to my family. I'm always sick. I'm always tired. Because I've just been carrying this load and this burden for so long. And all I've done is be a good person and show up for people. I feel alone and isolated. I feel neglected. Where are you, God? I thought you loved me. I thought you cared for me. Why am I experiencing this? And all of those questions that you ask, go find an answer. I say that I'm inquisitive. I'm the inquisitive one for a reason. God has created me this way. I question everything. If it doesn't make sense to me, or I am so intrigued by mankind and the way that our brains operate. I am really intrigued by how our bodies work and everything that just really piques my interest. And so I'm always asking questions. I'm always looking up stuff. And if I don't know something, and even if I think I know it, I still look it up. It's nothing wrong with that. When I was a kid, we had encyclopedias to look through and read through and all that type of stuff. And those big books were intimidating with the small little print. But we still looked into it. But now we don't even have that excuse that you don't have that. You have cellular phones, you have internet, you have libraries, you have free Wi-Fi, you have access to this information if you want it. If you are exhausted of all that you are feeling because of your people pleasing behavior or anything in reality, but because we're focusing on people pleasing today, if you have felt any of these things, go look for the answers to help you be better. It's just that simple. It's no excuse. You are the only thing that is holding you back. Not God, not your family, not your kids, not your husband, not your wife, not your friends, you. Some more things quickly are a loss of your own identity, harm to yourself. These are risks of your behavior. Role conflict, which is a person who attempts to please others, may find that the person that they are in one context conflicts with who they are in another. You don't even know who to be. You don't even know how to show up anymore because you've been people pleasing for so long. Who are you? Who are you? Without pleasing them or somebody, who are you? Whose are you? Now we're going to go into how to stop this people pleasing behavior because it must stop. It must. It's a must. It's your survival depends on it. You can start small. You can begin with trying to commit to meeting one need at a time, okay? One of your needs at a time. For example, a person might set a goal for themselves to give themselves small breaks between meetings, okay? If that's what you need in order to succeed and to be better, do it, whatever that looks like. For me, as I'm still on my journey to get the proper rest that I need, and I still be feeling, exhausted of my day, now on my lunch, I take a nap. I work from home. I can take a nap. If I'm really tired from that morning and whatever, or still from the night before or the days before, I choose, in order to take care of me and to meet my need, starting small is me choosing to take a nap on my lunch break because that's what I need to make it through that day. Or journaling. That's something small. I need to get these feelings and these emotions out. I'm meeting a need for Portia. Instead of holding it in, suppressing it, repressing it, I can get it out. I said it on the paper. It's out of me. I'm not carrying it no more. Start small. Whatever that looks like for you, start small. Another thing that you can do to stop this people-pleasing behavior, stalling. When someone makes a request, try allowing for some time to think about it rather than answering immediately. Ooh, that has been a part of my people-pleasing pattern. I will answer immediately because I don't want them to think I don't want to do this. Even if I don't want to do this. Even if I don't have the capacity to do this. Even if I don't have the space to do this. I don't want you to think anything, so I'm going to answer you real quick. Boom, 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 boom. No. Sometimes, or not sometimes, just stall it out. Take your time. Really breathe on it. Like, just really take a breath. Like, can I do that? Do I want to do that? Who need do I want to meet in this moment? I understand that some family and friends may need you at certain times. But again, if you don't have the capacity at that moment, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, actually, I can't do today at 5 o'clock, but I can do tomorrow at this time. That gives you a little more time and a little more cushion and a little more control to meet your need, because maybe you were having a rough day. Maybe you already have met your capacity. Maybe you are already exhausted to the point that you don't have no room for nothing else. So you're doing yourself and them a disservice by saying yes to something that you can't even fit in. Just say no. I can't do it. Or just wait it out. Give him a moment to breathe. It's okay. You'll be fine. And when you respond, is when you are ready to respond, when you have the capacity to do so. And that is okay. And if your response is yes, that's fine. And if your response is no, that too is fine. Because it's about meeting your needs as well as others. Okay? Another way that you can stop this people pleasing behavior is setting time limits. Another thing I've been practicing. When saying yes to something, include a time limit or a deadline rather than waiting for someone else to set the schedule. Okay? So again, like I already gave this example in the last one. If they said, "Oh, I need you at 5 o'clock. Can you help me do this, and that?" You can't do it at that time. Okay? I can't do it at 5 o'clock. But I need you tomorrow to do this thing for me. Can you show up for me? I can, but it's going to be at this time, at this appointed time that I have the space and time to give. And if not, that's okay too. Control the controllables. This is your space. This is your life. This is your time. Control it as you can. Okay? Another thing that you can do to stop this people pleasing behavior is time blocking. I think I talked about this in season 2. Block out time in your day that is off limits to any new requests or plans. People can do this mentally or use a calendar app that automatically declines any new invitations. Okay? So again, this is all about you. If it's something that you want to do, great. If you have the space to do it, great. But if you don't and you're just doing it, like, check in with yourself. Do some self-evaluation. Like, am I doing this? Am I saying yes because I just want them to feel good? Or is this something I truly want to do? Right? And I think it's important for you to answer that question before you respond, before you even allow space in your calendar or you allow somebody to make a new request, right? Time block yourself. If you set aside time just to sit and twiddle your dang on thumbs for 2-3 hours, that is your business. And just because a request comes in from somebody needing something from you does not mean that you have to oblige. You can still, well, I actually set this time aside, and you don't have to share it with them if you don't want to. It's up to you. But you, again, talk to yourself. I actually set this time aside to just rest or to be purposeful. I wanted to complete this assignment, or I wanted whatever it is that you needed. It's your business. It's up to you. But I think it's important that we check our motives as to why we're doing things and why we're not doing things as well. Rehearse saying no. In many situations, there are factual and empathetic ways to say no. Rehearsing these before speaking to someone may help. All right? I practice saying no to my kids all the time. I do. I think it's important that they hear it. Again, about people pleasing these kids, child. Listen, I don't have to give you everything when you want it. That is not realistic. That is not how life works. And sometimes I need to tell you no because, again, mommy doesn't have the capacity for that right now. Mommy's head hurts, or mommy just don't have the energy, or mommy just needed to take a break. Mommy need 15 minutes to herself. Mommy need to go to the bathroom by herself. Like, you need to hear no. But what gets me with them little critters is when I say no. But mommy, why? Blah, 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 blah. No. But then here's the no with the explanation. No, I don't want to do that right now. I have to do this. Or I want to do that. And they be like, okay, mommy. You know? I think it's important to rehearse your no's. And even though it can come a little easier for me personally with my children, it is sometimes harder for me with others. Especially people I feel like I'm indebted to. Oh God. Like, saying no to them is like, you're betraying them. They've done so much for you. What's wrong with you? That be my inner voice. And I'm like, anything this person asks me, I'm definitely gonna say yes to. But sometimes, no, it's okay. Because you're pleasing them. That's me pleasing because you've done so much for me. I'm reciprocating. But also, again, if I don't have the wherewithal to do it, I can say no. And again, you can make plans for other times and arrangements, like whatever, but it's okay to say no. Rehearse your no. If you have a problem with using your voice, rehearse it. Rehearse it with your friends, rehearse it with your family, rehearse it, rehearse it, rehearse it. No, 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 no. Um, and like I said earlier, to help you stop this behavior, you can go speak with a therapist or a life coach. Ding. Um, They can also be great resources to help you identify this behavior, to recognize its impact, to feel empowered to change these things, to learn about your values and or who you want to give your time to most. All right? Learn about healthy boundaries and set boundaries with your family, friends, and coworkers. It can all be so simple. Okay? It's just that simple. I am a certified life coach. And if you need assistance with your people pleasing behavior, and if you don't even know, if you're not for sure, even after listening to all that I've said today, that you are a people pleaser or have been people pleasing all of your life, you can reach out to me at my booking site. You can go to anchoredinllc.com. You can book online there through my Care Patreon and set up a consultation call with me. I am more than willing to talk with you and we can talk it through. All right. Again, hi, my name is Portia O, and I am a reformed people pleaser. And I am still working through these steps to stop my people pleasing behavior. And as I work through my steps, I can also help you work through your steps because we are a village. There's no perfect person on this earth. We are all struggling with something, and I don't have to be complete in my journey in order to help you. We can help each other. This is a peer coaching experience, okay? So if this is something that you are seeking to be more knowledgeable about, to instill the tools that you need, or you need skills to help you stop this behavior, reach out to me, okay? I am more than happy to help you in this healing journey because life be life in us all, okay? So that was great, right? I like that. I enjoyed that. I had some self-discovery moments throughout that. And also, I think it is very much so, and the self-discovery moments were more so that I'm already doing the things to stop my people-pleasing ways, okay? And you can do the same thing, all right? So, whatever that looks like for you, and if this did resonate with you, I hope that you will do what you need to do to show up better for you. All right? Now let's move on out of here with my last segment, which is Speak Life. All right. So this is the segment where I leave you with a call to action, but not just for yourself, for me as well. All right. Because we in this together, right? So I'll leave you with these words to hold on to until next time. Today's Speak Life affirmation is, I can help others without abandoning myself. Again, say it with me. Today's Speak Life affirmation is, I can help others without abandoning myself. You heard it. You say it. You write it down. And remind yourself to speak that thing and make it happen, because life be life in us all. I love you dearly, and I thank you so much for tuning in again to a podcast episode. Please follow me on all social media platforms and all the things, and I will see you again here next week.